What is good, guys? Welcome back to Behind the Dugouts for your match preview of Chelsea v United. And I'm not going to beat around the bush here. It is a must win game. We need to be picking up 3 points against United this weekend. No excuses, no draw. We've got to get these 3 points because we've got to pick up some winning momentum. Because at the moment, it's been hindered with a win, a draw, a lot. We've got to pick up some momentum if we want to carry through this tough run of fixtures. In this video, look, we're going to go over the starting 11 or what I think would be the best starting 11 for this fixture. I'll give you a little bit on United, and at the end, I will give you my score predictions of how I think this game is going to go. Starting with United. Now, this is a fixture when it comes up, I love it and I hate it. And it's not a fixture, especially at the Old Trafford, that we've had much joy in recent times. 2013 is the last time we beat United at Old Trafford. Donkeys years ago. So you can say it's a bit of a bogey place for us to go to, but we've got to change that this weekend. We've got to go out there and win it. And it's one of those things, no matter how poor United are, and they've been poor for many a seasons, not just under Ruben Amorim, a lot of the managers after Alex Ferguson have not had a good United team. But no matter what it is, they always seem to just turn up against Chelsea. I can never put my finger on it. You can go player for player. We've been better than them in a lot of seasons, especially of recent time. Last few seasons, we've had a much better squad than them. But no matter what, whenever we come to Old Trafford, they just seem to turn up. And I'd never understand it. And I'm going to put it more down to, the fans at Old Trafford. It must be. That's the only factor in because there's been many different managers and the teams have still been poor. But the fans seem to push them at Old Trafford and get them over the line or get them that draw, which tends to happen quite a lot when we go there. And this United team is no different. They are poor. It's just plain and simple. They've lost to Grimsby already this season. If that doesn't put anything in perspective, I don't know what will. Yes, they've made some good signings. They've made some signings that can potentially cause some threats. But as a team, the way that they play, they don't look like they're fully set on the way that Ruben Amorim wants them to play and his tactics. It just looks like an unsettled squad, an unsettled manager, and it's something that is just waiting to implode. The fans can sense it. Amorim himself can sense it. You just by the way that he's speaking in his press conferences. So, with that all being said, with the everything that's going on within the football club, players, managers wise, hierarchy, this is a really good time to play United. And this is a really good time for us to pick maximum points against them. So I really, really hope that we come up for this. And I think there's a few things that Maresca is going to need to do and need to change within the squad to give us the best chance of doing this because we've got a lot of talent. We've got a good structure. We just need to maybe aid a few of the players in the squad, take a few players out to make this squad ready for this game on the weekend. So, with that being said, we're going to get into my starting 11 now. Right, so starting off in goal, Robert Sanchez is going to maintain his place in the Chelsea lineup. Look, he saved us against Bayern. He was one of the top performers in that game. The two shining lights for me were Sanchez and Cole Palmer in that fixture. I know Maresca did come out in his conference and say that, Philip Jorgensen will get chances in the Premier League. I just don't expect this to be one of those games, especially with Lincoln City being in midweek, and he will definitely play in that fixture. So for me, Robert Sanchez has got to start in this game. Right back. Toss up between this. Obviously, both right backs played in the game against Bayern. Reece James coming off in that fixture. Now, I've sort of felt in recent weeks that Maresca basically looks at Gusto as being his starting right back. And I don't know if that's just because he prefers the way that Gusto plays, which I can't imagine because Reece James can do exactly what he wants. If he wants him to invert or if he wants him to play an overlapping fullback, he can do both. Or if it is literally just because of the injury and they're just managing to make sure that he doesn't pick up. But for me, I think he has to go with Reece James in this. And the fact that Reece is the one that came off in the buying game, it leads me to think that he's going to start this game because Gusto didn't come off. So for that being said, that Reece James will be my right back for this game. This is where I think the changes need to be made. The defense is looking like shambles at the moment. We're getting exposed. We're getting caught out by whether it's a Bayern Munich or if it's a Fulham or a Brentford. You know, we're getting caught out against any team at the moment. So I think a change needs to be made. So I think Maresca will go with Trevor Chalobah to maintain his spot. And I think alongside him, I think we should go with Josh Achampong. I'm not gonna lie. Look, we played Crystal Palace first game of the season. Yeah. And there were some question marks on Josh. For me, I thought he had a great game. I thought he locked down Mateta. And since then, he hasn't played as the centre back for any of the games. And our defensive unit is looking weaker than it did against Crystal Palace. There were definitely errors at Crystal Palace, but we looked a little bit more solid than we'd have done since then. So for me, I would trust him. Give him another go out. Let him go against this United team. Let him lock down Benjamin Sesko because I'm pretty sure he's going to start for United. This is a good chance for Josh. And I think to have Josh in for this game, it would be the best decision for the squad. Left back, Cuckoo. It's got to be. You know, I didn't think he did too bad against Elise against Bayern Munich. I thought he nullified him in a lot of areas. Again, one of my biggest things is if Elise was going to go inside at the centre backs, he was going to cause problems. And that's a lot of the chances what he did. He was putting through balls into those areas behind the centre backs and, you know, picking out those passes. But when it came to driving down that wing and trying to get crosses in, Cucurella dealt with most of them. And for me, best left back we've got. I don't think Hato is ready for the Premier League just yet. I think he needs some more minutes. Lincoln coming up. I think he will get the full game against Lincoln City. Pivot. This is where I think Maresca needs to make a change as well. So I'm going with Caicedo, and I sort of don't want to go with Caicedo because he needs a rest at some point. We've got to rest him. But for this game, we can rest him against Lincoln City. This game, he's got to play. He is the best central defensive midfielder we have. He makes us tick. He breaks down play all over the shop. We have to have him in this side. Alongside him, I think we need to give Enzo a little bit of time out the squad. I think at the moment, Enzo is hindering our attack and our defensive unit a little bit. And I think to take him out of the squad and give a player that I think deserves a shot, and that's Andre Santos. I think he's looked really good in every game that he's come on. I thought he did really well against Bayern Munich. The little through balls that he makes on the edge of the area, you know, to have the ability to weight your pass perfectly in those tight areas where the margin of error is so small. He seems to have that ability and he's done it quite a few occasions. Obviously, it was an offside goal, but the ability, it speaks wonders. And I think he deserves a shot. And I think this is going to be a good game because United's midfield is trash. You know, we will have the legs on them, we will have the quality on them. So for me, this would be a great partnership for this game. Right side, I think Esteval's got to start this. You know, he got a few minutes in the latter part of the Bayern Munich game and he looked all right. But again, the game was 3-1. It was pretty much dead and buried at that point. He was trying to make things happen. So for the fact that he's rested that game, for me, he's got to start this one. I think Pedro Neto was one of those players that looked really leggy, and I think he does need a break. And we'll get into my left wing option in a second. So for me, Esteval's got to start on the right hand side. In the 10, Cole Palmer. He looks fit. He looks like he's getting back to himself. He's going to be important for us to get these 3 points. Like he's going to be the one that's going to make us tick. He's going to be the one that is going to produce some quality in those areas and produce that little bit of magic to get us over the line because we do need to get over the line this game. We've got to get these 3 points. So we've got to have him on the pitch. Left hand side, I think Maresca alluded in his press conference what is going to happen on the left hand side. He said Garnacho is ready to start. So for me, based on that, he is going to start this game on the left hand side. The little cameos he's had, he's looked good. Defensively, that will come with time. He's still adjusting to the tactics and the system. Again, that will come with more games, more minutes. But from the cameos that he had in an attacking sense, he looks a threat. He takes on his players. He does get the ball in behind. He puts some really good cutbacks in, 2 or 3 against Bayern Munich. There was a few against Brentford. We've obviously got the goal from one of them. We could have had a second. And he's doing that, you know, in the last 2 games. So if his fitness is up, which Maresca said is good, he's understanding the tactics a bit better. And if he's ready to start, then for me, at the moment, I would start him over Gittins. I still think Gittins needs a bit more confidence, a bit more time. And again, Lincoln City in the week, that would be a good chance for Gittins to get out there, to get a full game, 90 minutes, and just have him running at Lincoln left, right, and centre. And then we could see Gittins push on for there. For now, Garnacho has got to be the one on the left hand side. Up top, I was thinking about Margu, but João Pedro is looking a little bit leggy. He had the sickness, or he had something in Brazil. He hasn't had much of a break. This would be a good opportunity to give him a break, but I don't want us starting Gu up front against Man United. It's got to be João Pedro. We've got to go with the strongest available starting lineup, strongest available striker. And that for me is João Pedro. And I do think he is going to score in this game. And hopefully he can start regaining some of that form that we saw, early on in the Club World Cup, what he was producing at the beginning of the season and the preseason. And hopefully he can find his feet again, get back on the score sheet, because strikers are going to go through blips. I think he's going through a little bit at the moment, but I think it's more just down to fatigue and tiredness for the amount of games that has been played by himself and the travelling that's been done. So I think he will get his chances in this game because Man United do leak goals. They have leaked goals throughout the season so far. So he will get chances. And I think if he gets a really good chance, he will put it in the back of the net and get back on the scoring sheet. But that is my lineup for this game this weekend. Love to get your thoughts on it. Obviously, I've made a few changes of what I think will be best for the squad. Maresca may go with these options, but I'd love to get your thoughts. Is there anyone in there that you would prefer to have? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's have a chat about it. But look, guys, as I said in the beginning, not beating around the bush, we need to win this game. We've got to get these 3 points to pick up that momentum. We have to put them to the sword. We can't give them too much respect. We can't sit off them. We can't take our foot off the gas. We cannot walk away without these 3 points because we need that momentum. We need the winning momentum to carry us through this tough run. And it starts from tomorrow against United. We need to walk away with these 3 points. So with that being said, I think if Maresca makes a few tweaks into the defensive line, into the midfield, I think we can walk away with a 2-0 victory against United tomorrow. They are in a poor run and it's not getting any better and it's on the brink of imploding. We have the opportunity to watch them explode tomorrow. So let's go out and do that and turn that theatre of dreams into a theatre of nightmares. Drop your comments below, guys. What do you think the score is going to be? How are you feeling about this game? I'd love to hear your thoughts. But for now, take care of yourselves and I will catch you in the next one.